business. And Rosanna Borsma is going to come up and talk. She is going to help us to understand how the DNA for business works into mastermind groups, right? So give it up for her.
All right, well, the DNA for business. We have 5 areas of business, as you can see up on the board. The area 1 of marketing and getting more and better leads. The area 2 is pre-sales. The area 3 is the sale, the yes or the no. Are you going to get somebody? The area 4 is servicing. It's turning what we have sold to people or maybe not have sold and why did we not sell them, turning our service into a profitable client. And then once we have the client, go ahead and creating lifelong relationships. I think if you note that, I think it's probably pretty understood that there's 5 areas and each area has 6. That's why we named it the 530 grid, in case anybody didn't understand that one. But I'm going to go ahead and take, some of you may have known it as called the golden triangle, but I'm going to take 5 of the areas that we have looked up here. We have to identify the targets, and that is who is your target? Who are you trying to sell to? Who are you trying to talk to? Who wants your business? And so that is the identifying your targets. Once you identify your targets, you need to develop and deliver a message. You need to go ahead and understand what you're trying to go ahead and get across to these people. And so you have to have some sort of message that says, hey, you really want to know what I'm trying to sell. You really want to know what I'm trying to go ahead and get out to the people. Once you get that, deliver the message, then you need to go ahead and figure out how to track 100% of your leads. Now, I put down for tracking 100% of your leads is, when do you do that? And so we have the who, and we have the what, and we have the when. When do we track the 100% of leads? We went to a seminar on Tuesday, which in an hour after getting home from the seminar, we had those leads, all of them, not just 9 of them, but all of them in a spreadsheet and had it out to the people that could go ahead and connect with them. So it is important, even if you don't like the person that you're going ahead and you got their business card, they may have someone that you like, or they may have some information, so you always track every lead. And then number 4 would be asking key questions. And that is to go ahead and to find out why your customer wants to be with you or why they don't want to be with you. And so asking the key questions is very important. And one of the key questions that we like to ask is, what's your biggest challenge, which obviously you've seen on your paper. And in case you're needing to know, it's square number 11 if you want to see all of the different ones we're working with. And then number 5 is implementing 10 plus strategic strikes. It's like taking this develop and deliver a message and putting it on steroids. You are going to come up with 10 different ways to connect with these people. It may not necessarily just be one way that they're going to go ahead and, how many of you get junk mail and don't pay attention to it? Okay, but how many of you get an email and the subject line attracts your attention? Or how about maybe something that comes across on Facebook? Or, let's see, I think it's LinkedIn that some people, I'm still working on that one. So LinkedIn, but there are different ways to go ahead and connect with a different client. Now I was going to say, with the client for life, one of the things that I think is important when you do the client for life on the area 5 is once you have a client, you go ahead and you serve them. We have a mechanic that's been working for us for 25 years. Do you think that when my kids got their cars that we referred them to their business to them? Yes. Why? Because we trusted them, because they were honest, because they pointed out things that we did, that we needed to fix, and pointed out things that some other people said we needed to fix that we didn't really need to fix and could save us some money. So because they did that for us, we go ahead and develop, we've developed a relationship and we pass it on to those that we know that own cars. So it is very important to make sure that when you're working through these 5 areas that you go ahead and study them and understand what you're doing. Because sometimes we don't get the sale, and sometimes we need to know why. And so we need to go ahead and ask the people, is there something I could have done better? And so it's always important to go ahead and make sure that you're servicing the client or the lack of client thereof so that you can learn to do a better job. Thank you. Any questions? No questions? Okay, cool.
So Rosanna, I do have a question.
Oh.
I know.
And
You knew there had to be at least one. So when you said asking key questions and if there's a client who maybe you don't get, where does that go into the 530 grid and how can that like actually be implemented with the mastermind group? So,
well, I think I would still put it in your leads.
okay,
Because just because they say no doesn't mean that they are a no. They may be a maybe. Or they may, once you change something, you might be able to use it again and come back to them. Or maybe, as Kevin King helped me today, is maybe the people that said no have referrals for you, and they're just not interested that they have referrals. So it's always important to track that lead.
so you're saying that even if somebody says no, you ask for the referral?
Yes, because it's not a lead to yes, it's a lead
Can you
to.
do one example of asking for a referral?
Huh?
Can you do one sample, customer to customer? Or
Asking for a
like
referral.
asking Pam for a referral. Can you ask Pam for a referral live?
I
Well,
can ask you for a referral.
go for it.
Okay, all right. So Rosanna, we just, I know that you're very concerned about these top 3 things that we talked about with your finances. And I have found that over the course of working with people that successful individuals like yourself often know other successful individuals. And there are going to be 3 to 9 people probably in the next 6 to 12 months that are going to need some of these same things. So is it okay if I just give you a call, maybe find out who those are that you've talked to over the next year or so?
Sure, and that way I can let them know ahead of time that you're calling.
Oh,
so
that would
they
be
can
perfect.
prepared.
That would be perfect, because then that way it really makes it an easier conversation for both
Right.
of us that are expecting my call. So as we were talking, we were working on these things, was there somebody that came to mind that you said, you know what, they really need to talk to Pam?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, who was that? And just, you know what, I'm just gonna take their name and number, and then you get a hold of them. After you talk to them, you text me and you let me know, and I'll call them. Okay? All right. Did that answer your question?
That was great.
All right, so, thanks, Rosanna.